I'm sure many of you have been frantically trying to get the inside of your homes decorated for the Christmas holidays. And a part of that, of course, is putting lights on the outside of our home. But today I'd like to show you some ideas on how to decorate some other things outdoors, and that's to attract birds and other wildlife. And we'll go over some decorations that you can hang outdoors or decorate on your living trees or pine trees or even some of your deciduous trees. And the first thing that I want to show you is a wreath that we've made out of sunflower head that we harvested back in September here from our studio gardens. And our sunflower, we harvested the whole sunflower head, and we've just cut out the center to give it a wreath appearance. The sunflowers, as you can see, are pretty much still attached. And then we've glued on some different things that we've collected outdoors, such as pecans, some nandina berries, smilax berries, which is just a wild green briar weed that grows out in the woods, as well as another pasture weed that's called flannel weed. And we've just got the seed head off of that one. Now, we stored our sunflowers, harvested them in some different onion sacks and some of our remay, and we were unfortunate enough that the mice got into them and tore up a lot of our sunflower seed as well as some of the heads, but we have two that we salvaged, and here's a smaller one that we've got a little different color using some smilax berries again. These lighter purple are American Beauty Bush, and then we've got some other berries that we've collected from the wild as well. And again, we've just cut out the center, and these can be hung up on a post or anything. The sunflower seeds that we lost, though, we just put those in a brown paper bag over here, and we've just basically knocked those loose, and we'll still be able to salvage them by just putting them in bird feeders or throwing them out on the ground even for the birds to use this winter time. Now, there's all kinds of ornamental berries that you can use from your landscape as well. And I've got a few of those over here. The nandina berries are really a pretty color this time of year, as well as a deciduous holly that loses its leaves but has brilliant red berries as well. Now, some other things that you can use these berries and fruit to decorate outside is stringing them on a popcorn string. And in addition to the popcorn, just put on some raisins. And then we've used some of the deciduous holly berries because the seed is pretty small. And these are fun activities for your kids to get involved with as well. And these can be hung around any kind of tree, and the birds will feed on the popcorn as well as on the berries and the raisins. Some other nice little decorations that you can hang outdoor as well is just taking an apple, and we've used toothpicks to stick in some of the berries and popcorns. You could also smear butter around the apple and then roll it in any kind of seed, because the peanut butter is a real good attractant, as well as butter, any kind of fatty material that has protein, and it will also stick the seeds on. Another one that we've used is an orange slice, and we've just cut that in half, scooped out the orange part, and then we've filled it with peanut butter again and just stuck in some different kinds of raisins and seed. And you can mix a seed up in the peanut butter ahead of time, and then again that could be hung on the tree where the birds could get to it. Also, pine cones are real easy to find this time of year. And we've got one, we've smeared peanut butter on it again, and then attached a ribbon, and then that can be rolled in different kinds of bird seed, hung up, and it makes a real attractive little decoration for the birds to feed on as well. Now, the seed that we're using here is just a mixture of grass seed. We've put in some of our sunflowers. You can use raisins and even peanuts. But several shows ago, we showed you how to make a hair-raising spud where we used some of the bird seed and grass seed. And we had a little bit of extra, so we're just mixing that in here, as well as it's a great way to get rid of some of your old leftover vegetable seeds. We've got some tomato seeds here that were purchased back in 1987, and they haven't been stored properly, so instead of throwing those away, we're just going to mix those in our seed mix. And the last thing that I want to show you is actually using another product that you can get at the processing plant or at your butcher, and it's called suet, S-U-E-T, and actually it's nothing more than animal fat. And It's a great thing that you can get, and a lot of times they'll just give it to you, especially if you get it in slices like I've got here to show you. And once it heats up or you get it out at room temperature, you can dip it in the different kind of seed that we mixed up. And again, the birds will feed on the seed as well as eat part of the fat too. If you get it ground up, they'll probably charge you a little for that. But it's a nice thing to get, and then you can roll it up in a ball and then roll it again in our seed mixture. And it really does a nice job of holding that seed on there. Now you might ask, how would you hold something up like that? Well, the easiest thing is just to get any kind of a netting, and a lot of times different fruits, vegetables come in these netting. And then after you've made your soot display and also put some seed on it, you can just stick those in there, use a ribbon to tie it up, and hang it off a tree again, and it makes a nice little decoration to hold it as well. Now, one thing that I want to show you, a lot of times you may not have a tree or something that you want to hang these decorations on. You may have a fence line or a clothesline, and a nice thing is just to use some of your hangers, fix up your pine cones with your seed and peanut butter, hang those up, and then it gives a little roost there for the birds to light on while they feed on the pine cone. Now, I think there's just about an organization or a society for everything that you might be interested in. And if you're really an enthusiast on feeding birds, there's also a society called the National Bird Feeding Society, which is out of Illinois. And they have some primary goals of helping you get in touch with other people that have interests so you can share ideas and mainly teach you and educate you on what some of the birds' needs are. And if you'd like more information about the National Bird Feeding Society, you can write to them at 1163 Shermer Road in Northbrook, Illinois, and the zip code is 60062-438. So hopefully you've gotten some ideas of some fun projects again you can involve your kids with this time of year and make your outdoors look a little bit better and also benefit some of our good friends such as bird and other wildlife.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. You can also find more recent videos on our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.